Wilson disturbed everybody. He knocked a dish off the table. What are you doing, Lionel? Hey, Connie. We're a little early today. There's an event happening this evening that I have to pay attention to, so I wanted to get everything done and get home and do everything I need to do so at 7 o'clock I'm ready to go. Don't have too much to do that I know of, but I do have to get home and feed the other cats and dogs and feed myself. Normally that would put me at like 7:30 or so before, or even 8 some nights before I'm done with all of that. But got through with things that I needed to get done at work today and was able to start the cleanup and feeding everybody around 4:30, so it worked out. So everybody may be a little lazy now since they just ate. Hey, Aurora and Fern and Carmel. Wasn't sure if anybody would make it this early. I don't know everybody's schedule, but I was hoping that somebody would. Hey, Tina. 2 days in a row. Well, thank you, Connie. Alabama. Well, somebody. They all just ate, so they're being kind of sluggish. On a different subject, we had I think we told you about our orange tabby. Had to have a couple of teeth pulled last Friday. He's been acting weird ever since, and I don't know if it's just it traumatized him to go to the vet and have that done, or if it's lingering effects from the anesthesia, or if it's the pain meds that are messing with him, or what the deal is. But he's been kind of antisocial until last night. I had to physically put him in the bed with me, but once he got in the bed, he was right at home. So got the bed buddy back last night. So hopefully I don't have to coax him out to get in the bed anymore. He's 9, or will be 9 this year. I mean, he's still eating. He will not eat the dry food yet, which that's understandable. But he eats his wet food. No problems there. He's just being a little shy right now. I think Tabby might have been picking on him some right after he got home. He's kind of shied away from Tabby. Yeah, I'm sure it wasn't pleasant for him. We've had a dental done on him once before, and I think he had at least one tooth removed, but they did it in the midst of him being boarded. It was when we had to go out of town for something. I don't remember what we were doing. It's been a couple years ago. But he was normal for the most part when he came back that time. But it should be pretty obvious if something serious is wrong with him, because if he ever stops wanting food, then there's something wrong. He loves to eat. But yeah, these guys are going to be mad at me in a little while when I put them in their room early. Not all that much earlier than what they normally go, but definitely earlier. Well, actually, Lily paid me a visit twice today, and she kind of curls up on the edge of my desk and rests up against my chest when I'm working. She used to do that all the time. Since these guys came along, she hasn't done that as much because she's always hiding or being angry. But she came over and did it today. But it used to be a daily thing before she had all these troublemakers to worry herself with. She would be fine with Clara and Doc and Stumpy. But these other guys, she just does not trust them at all, especially Stella, and rightfully so with Stella, because Stella's been kind of a jerk to her in the past, as with Doc and Clara and Stumpy too. They just can't seem to find middle ground. They haven't been fighting. There hasn't been as much growling and hissing, but they still stare one another down whenever they cross paths. And I don't know that that will ever change as long as she's here. I guess it could in time. I got a text message from the lady at the rescue last night that said they were going to be at PetSmart this weekend, asking if I wanted to go. And I can't this weekend, I don't think. I told her maybe Sunday, depending on time, but my brother is getting married Saturday, so I'm in the wedding. That's going to be pretty much not an all-day affair, but from lunchtime until I guess I'll be involved with that. Sunday after church, I don't know. True, Fern. It's better than it was. But by the time I get out of church Sunday, I don't know what time they're going there. But it takes me 30 minutes to get here, and then at least 30 minutes to get everything loaded up, and another 20 minutes to get over there, and I just don't know that it would give me a lot of time. But I am going to see if Melanie will come in and do her best to get some really good pictures of everybody. Try to update the Pet Finder ads and do some more Facebook ads sometime this week, or if not this week, by the first of next week. Maybe since it's after the holidays, we'll have some better luck. We need it. That's what I hope for too, Connie. And that's the best approach, I think. And I mean, even in his natural habitat, this one is still skittish. I mean, he even runs from me sometimes. Not all the time, but he's just going to be a timid cat. And that's okay. I mean, I have timid cats. I love them just as much as the ones that sit in my lap. But it's just not what everybody wants. And I hate to torture him at PetSmart when I don't think he's going to put on a good showing there for anybody. At least he'll be out and running around. I really hope that if anybody adopts Hank, they'll either take one of his siblings or they'll have another cat that he could get along with and help him adapt to wherever he goes. But when it's just Melanie and me here, he's totally fine. He lays in the middle of the floor. But when everybody else is here, he tends to stay on that side of the room or in his room, somewhere in this vicinity. He doesn't normally come out on this side of the room a whole lot. He will get the zoomies from time to time and run in the spare room and all that, but not where he spends a lot of time. One of my coworkers has a little store that he and his wife run up the road downtown. And he was talking about making Clara, like adopting Clara and making her the shop cat. I'm got mixed feelings about that, but I don't know, Connie. I don't think I've ever done it on my phone. And Fern, he gets along well with all of them. He doesn't really have a problem with anybody. But I think if he gets into a home where he's comfortable, it's a little pop-up shop, is what they call it, where they basically do things on consignment with local artists and stuff like that. People that would like cats. Well, he's definitely bonded with his mama because I see them cuddled up in the hammock together quite a bit. Whereas Stella and Zelda seems to be the one that catches the brunt of Stella's rage whenever she gets upset about something. I don't know why, but she gets singled out a lot. And Zelda's as sweet as she can be. Don't understand it. Maybe it's just because she's female. I don't know. But once they're fixed, it shouldn't matter. But maybe it does. But a lot of times when Stella and Doc or one of the other cats have a little stare down or whatever, and I don't like forcibly reach in and grab one of them and say no and separate them like that. I just kind of nudge one of them a little bit the other way, and Stella has to take her aggression out on somebody, and for whatever reason, it's usually Zelda. I have such a hard time saying Stella and Zelda. I mean one and I say the other. Excuse me. Hey, Wilson. See, this is what Wilson does that makes him like our cat at home named Binks. Binks doesn't really want to be held, but Binks loves attention, and he will just plop down for you to pet him. And then get distracted by something and hop up and run away. Well, hello, Doc. I know I should have taken this jacket off before I started this. I've been cold all day until I got up and started walking around and doing things, and now I'm a little warm. But it's just been kind of a gross day here. Cool and rainy all day long. Supposed to have a warm up for a couple of days, and then we'll get back to a normal type winter, and then it's supposed to turn really cold again. So we've developed a trend. It gets really cold, stays really cold for a while, rains, warms up a little bit. A couple of decent days, cool down, and then super cold. Hey, Lynette. So anybody that says we didn't have a winter this year in Alabama deserves to be slapped, because we've already had a winter, and we're not even halfway through January yet. Hank. We've had more of a winter in the past month than we normally have the entire winter itself. Hey, D. Hutch. I'd say the past month, actually a little more than the past month, because it snowed before Thanksgiving, which is not a common thing. Well, maybe. Normally our coldest months are February and March here. So maybe since we've already had a couple of really cold months, February and March will be warmer than they typically are. We can hope anyway. I'm in no hurry for 100-degree days, but I'm so ready for warmer weather and longer days. It's a little better than it was when time first changed, but every year when that time change hits is just so depressing to me, because I get off work usually at 5. It's quitting time anyway, and it's pitch black outside. And it's like, well, dark, dreary drive home, and then darkness when I get there. I do like the summertime, though. You can go home and it's not dark until 8:30 or 9. I want a Lionel and Doc, but I've got too many Lionel and Doc clones at my house. I don't have a Lionel clone, but I have a Doc clone. Me too, Connie. I don't much like the push mowing part of the yard work, but I have a riding mower for our backyard, and that's kind of therapeutic for me. I enjoy doing that in the afternoons once I get the other stuff done. I have a fairly large backyard. It would really suck to have to push mow it. I've done it before, but I don't want to do it again. It was done out of necessity before. Hey, Aaron. Fern, my solution to raking leaves, well, our first solution was for we had a silver maple tree in our backyard that used to drop leaves all over the place. But I don't know if it got some kind of a fungus or whatever, but it basically started to rot and decompose from the inside, and we had to have it cut. So that was one solution to the leaves. But across the street where my grandmother lived, her neighbor has a huge, huge, huge sycamore tree that just drops leaves everywhere. I mean, that tree has got to be 100 years old. I don't know exactly how old it is, but it's massive. And it just makes a huge mess. But riding mower with a bagger on it and just run over them. That's the easiest way to pick up leaves. You're going to empty the bag 20 times, but it's a lot better than raking and bagging by hand. And if you have a good mulching mower, you can just mulch them all down. You probably have to dethatch your yard if you want the grass to grow back really strong next spring, but probably worth it just based on the effort. But yeah, I used to, every year I would get the blower out and go along the fence line with the blower and just blow everything off the fence, and then get the riding mower and suck them all up. Yeah, they make a big mess. I like the tree just because it's so old, and I don't know, our neighborhood has a lot of mature trees in it. It's one thing I do like about where we live. But I don't know if I would want it in my yard or would want to live right next door to it where it falls in your yard. Go for it, Zelda. Get it. But I hope you guys will forgive me for being a little short today, because I don't know. I can't come up with any other good excuses other than I'm a rabid Alabama football fan, and I have to watch this and be prepared for it. Yep, football. I doubt very seriously Melanie's going to watch any of it, so it'll be me watching it solo, which I'm used to because she's an Auburn fan. So if she's a fan of anything, she's an Auburn fan. She's kind of scaled it back a little bit from what she used to be. I, on the other hand, have not. It's just a religious experience for us down here. I will. She stayed home sick today. I hope she's feeling a little better when I get home. But I think she's planning to go back to work tomorrow, and we'll be back on regular schedule tomorrow, hopefully. And these guys say hopefully too, so they don't have to get put in their room sooner. Yeah, that scares me, Connie. All the predictions were for Clemson last week, and see how that went. But nonetheless, they got to play the game either way. So, but yeah, thank all you guys. I appreciate it, and I hope we'll see you all again tomorrow, 5:30ish. So we will see you then.